now. So, Strangely Tasty here, and today we're back on Starcraft 2 for a special interview. Well, first of all, I want to say that I'm sorry for the initial delay of last week, but finally we managed to, make this interview. So today's guest is DrMaggot. He is the creator of a new Lottery map, Legend of Zelda Breath
Hi.
of the Wild. And yeah, he is here. And today we are going to talk briefly first about his past in the game, and then about how we actually realized this map. So in the meantime, you'll have a little gameplay of the map, which we are talking about, Legend of Zelda. So let's go to the first question. First of all, how did you manage to know about the lottery genre on the Starcraft 2 arcade?
Well, first, thank you for the interview. I'm sorry if I mispronounce some things because I'm not an first English speaker. So, all right, for your question, I first knew about this. It dates back quite a while. I've been playing StarCraft since 2003, and I rapidly discovered the use map setting mode. That's how arcade was called there. So. I discovered the Lord of the Ring genre pretty early, and I cannot tell you what the first map, but I remember playing a lot of Siege of Gondor. I played other maps too, which were better rated in the Lord of the Ring community, but they played different. Yeah, I've been playing for quite a while. It took time to get Lord of the Ring maps done on StarCraft 2 when it first came out. So I enjoyed the early Palamani and Butterfly ones, but I resumed playing like 5 years, 1 year ago, about a 5 year breaks, and I found out about the Legends of Zelda maps, and I've been enjoying it since.
Okay, so you basically know about the lottery genre for some time now, and from my personal experience, you seem to really like the Legend of Zelda maps. So that's your if you made a Zelda map, that's probably
Yeah, that's
why.
the reason for that.
Yeah. And now, secondly, as a question, for how long did you play StarCraft 2 in general?
Well, as I told you in the first question, I've been playing it since 2003 on StarCraft 1. And I've been playing StarCraft 2 since it came out. So it's been a pretty long time. I've made breaks from time to time, but I played quite a lot. So I never really enjoyed the melee part. However, I've always played much more arcade.
Okay, so basically it's just like me. I never really enjoyed the melee part of StarCraft, basically
Yeah.
normal StarCraft. I don't really like it, to be honest, but I really like the arcade, so that's why I'm trying in my channel to improve the community out of it. So let's now go to the third question. Why did you want to go in the arcade and make a lottery genre map?
Well, I always enjoyed making maps on the first StarCraft editor. I made mm, 3 maps back then, but they never really became popular. So when StarCraft 2 came out, I was kind of thrilled to try the new editor, but it turned out to be extremely complicated. So I did not really bother. When we started playing a year ago, I found out about the Legend of Zelda map. I know you kind of dislike them, but I really do enjoy the Legend of Zelda universe, and I'm good at those maps, so I enjoy them quite a lot. And I got frustrated because of the lack of updates on Ocarina of Time, and I thought, well, if I want to change, I have to bring it myself. So I started looking into the editor and playing with it, watching a few tutorials, and it came slowly. I had a lot of ideas, but the frustration was intense because I couldn't grasp the editor at first.
Yeah, so basically, instead of waiting for someone to make this genre better, you decided to make it yourself,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I don't know if it's better, but I tried.
yeah, yeah. Well, maybe uh, time will see if this is better or not. But as you said, and from what I understood, you were a veteran ST1 map maker. So you had some kind of veterancy in the editor, maybe.
Yeah, although it didn't help in the second one because it's much harder.
Yeah. Okay. So you had some familiarities with developing math in in a Starcraft game in general. So yeah, let's now go to the fourth question, which basically it's on the map development. So did you do it all alone, or did you find someone who willingly helped you in the community of the arcade?
Yeah, I guess that's where you come in. Yeah, I got my way around the terrain making and a few other simple aspects, but I knew nothing about triggers and events and even the data. So that's where you come in. I asked people around and I stumbled on you on a Lord of the Ring game, maybe. And you helped me quite a lot getting started on data, on triggers, and a bunch of other basics.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks.
that's very important stuff because I couldn't get started without you. And you also introduced me to other maps, Oli, Tabujin, and others, and they really helped a lot.
So you're basically referring to well, first me, which yeah, I personally help you with the triggers, which in the first place I wasn't even really capable of, and then yeah, but for example, Aldous Smith, which is Rise of the Witch King creator, which in the future I'm going to make an interview of, and Damaging helped you in well the creation of everything basically. So that's
Yeah,
two people which really helped you from your coding
yes.
experience basically.
Some other people that helped me a lot with testing too, like Nisashi and Al Capone and many other people helped me balance it out and everything. So I got a lot of help. I wasn't alone. Even if I did all the triggers and data and everything, I wasn't really alone.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you weren't really alone because I already know that I helped you, but no, it's maybe good to give this kind of advice. So anyway, let's go to the fifth question. So, have you ever felt at some point discouraged by something during your development, which basically made you at some point not really wanting to, well, develop your map anymore or do something like draw everything and not develop anything anymore?
Well, actually, it was more than a few times I got discouraged. First, making units is a very tricky process when you're new to it, and I struggled with the editor for quite some time to find out how to do it properly. It was kind of unnerving, and I just let it aside for a while working on other stuff. So it was a lot of trial and errors, but I eventually did it with some. Another very low moment was when I tried adding dependencies to add more unit models to the map. It didn't go very well. It corrupted the whole map. The menu bar was gone. I couldn't even leave the game when I was testing and everything. So I was kind of discouraged because I hadn't made a backup save for
Oh,
three
yeah.
days, and I lost 3 days of work. And we're speaking about of 6 to 8 hours per day on I spent on this. So it was a lot of hours of work lost. So it
Yeah.
was a pretty hard blow on morale, but I
Yeah.
managed
I
to get
mean,
back to.
you know that in the well, probably very few people know that there was a Discord in which, well, actually, there is still the Discord in which many people put their map files.
Yeah,
So maybe you should have put at least one of the map files there, so that you would have had some kind of backup save, first of all.
yeah, I
But
was doing backups, but I didn't do enough.
yeah, but then I am pretty sure you added the save file to the Discord, so you kind of learned from your mistakes, basically.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I felt too sometimes very discouraged in making a map, so it's totally understandable. Let's now go to the sixth
yeah.
question. So, this is something that many players would want to know. What are your plans for the development and future patches of Breath of the Wild? And also, when is Link going to be added?
Yeah, of course. Link. Where is Link?
Yeah,
When is Link coming? I know. Yeah. Right now, I'm not working on it because I have very important exams coming up. So
yeah,
it's competitive exams to become a teacher. So it's actually pretty hard. We're like 6,000 candidates for 500 places. So I have to prioritize that for now. But I'll get back to work on the map afterward. And one of the first thing I'm going to make is balance because the last patch really threw off the balance for in favor of the evil side.
yeah,
Um, the next addition will be the abilities for each and every
yeah, very
hero.
well.
That may take some time because it's a lot of work and a really tedious work on top of that. So I'll take my time to do it. Uh, once this is done, I will probably add the remaining heroes I intend for the game. And yes, there will be Link. He will be added. But I really want to implement Link with a whole quest, and that's why I'm saving it for last because it's gonna take a while to develop it. And I
Yeah,
really wanted to make something special for Link, and I wanted the map to be playable meanwhile. So that's why I left him for last, and I made everything else playable, and he'll get added in the future. But yeah, it will take some time still. I'm
yeah,
probably
yeah. I mean, probably every player or fan that plays Breath of the Wild wants to know where Link is. So now everyone knows that Link will be added basically in the future. So since you're going to make him have many custom missions, objectives, and stuff like that.
yeah.
So, well, this is almost all. Let's go to the last question, which I wanted to make. Is Do you plan on doing something else for Starcraft 2 Arcade after Breath of the Wild is finished and, well, probably it's not as active as anymore in the nearby future, maybe?
Well, I don't think so because well, if it wasn't so tedious to make a map, I'd probably think about it because I really have a lot of ideas, but it really takes a long time. We're talking about several months to make something work properly. So I already spent way too much time on Breath of the Wild, and still have time to spend to make it better. So I have some other ideas, but I don't think I'll have time to make of it because yeah, it really takes too much time. If anything, maybe on StarCraft 3 if it ever comes out.
Yeah, but I don't know
But
if Blizzard is going to survive this Warcraft 3
yeah, I
Reforged
don't know. We'll
disaster.
see.
Maybe we'll see. But for the moment, your map stays there, and well, hopefully it will be better in the future, and some players will join too. So, also, another little question which I wanted to make is also, will you make a Discord server for Breath of the Wild?
I don't think so because well, I'm already on several Discord servers of other maps and other map makers, and people can find me there. And so I don't think I need a Discord of my own.
Okay, so basically you're saying that you really don't need a Discord because you basically have are already on the other people's server. So if people want to contact you, they can in the other people's servers.
Yeah, there's your server first, and there's also the Girl Thrower server,
Yeah.
and of course you can find me on the game anytime. DrMaggot, it's not
Yeah,
hard to find
I
me.
see you basically many for a lot of time you are there on Discord playing
Yeah,
StarCraft 2 in your status basically. So yeah, I mean I think that this is all for now. Well, thanks for everything, Doc, and I hope to all my viewers that you enjoyed this interview too. So,
yeah,
well, I think it's finished. If you want, if you have any question, or I mean, if you whatever needs something else in here that you want to say, you can.
yeah. I think it will be all. Thank you for the interview. Um,
Yeah. So I mean, uh, there's on my Discord some people which wanted to say if you are going to be concentrating just on Breath of the Wild or something else, but I think we already answered that question. And
yeah, we did.
also, oh yeah, there's a interesting question here. Basically, what do you think about Middle Earth: The Last Alliance versus Middle Earth: Rise of the Witch King? I mean, what do you think in
Uh,
terms of gameplay?
are we talking about the Last Alliance with Witch King of Angmar that is a battle cruiser?
Yeah, I mean, Rise of the Witch King is, yeah, as you say, with the hero with the battlecruiser, while Middle Earth: The Last
Yeah.
Alliance is, well, it's much older. It's with Warcraft 3 models.
Yeah, I've been playing the Last Alliance on StarCraft 1. It's very old, so I think it aged a lot, and it's not really playable anymore. It was a fun game back then, but right now, Rise of the Witch King, it's much better. No, 100%.
Yeah. Okay, so you're basically saying that the Last Alliance is right now outdated, basically. So, okay. Well, anyway, I think that for today's video is enough. And I thank you, DrMaggot, for being my guest today. And I
Yeah,
hope
thank
that
you.
well, if you want, you can publicize this interview for everyone who wants to see this and to understand more of your game. And well, for instead of my and well, for my viewers, so for next video it'll be a U4 multiplayer game with very special missions. like with Bess, UFOs, 10% discipline buffs to the Pope, and Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator's feds who gain little to fun in space conquering and acting. So maybe DrMaggot will attend to that UFO multiplayer game. Will you?
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
Why not?
I mean, as I described it, it's a very strange UFO game. Probably not something that you would, mm, well, know. Yeah, would play normally on the UFO multiplayer. And, well, so everyone, thank you, Dr. Maggot, again and again. And, well, it's time to go, I think. It's time to sleep, as Link would say, probably. Yeah, and so bye, Dr. Maggot. Thanks for everything, and bye to all my viewers.